The still a better love story than Twilight meme, as we know it, has been around since December of 2011, starting with this picture of a plug about to be inserted into an outlet. Since then, it's been used for everything from Tom Hanks in a volleyball to Pikachu in a ketchup bottle. However, for all the things wrong with Twilight in general and its romance specifically, it's far from the worst love story out there. Isn't that right, Leatherface? Today I'm going to be looking at 5 examples of love stories worse than Twilight. However, I will not be ranking them. Instead, I'm just going to be going in release order. That means we're starting with an adaptation of another Stephenie Meyer novel. The host takes place in a world that has been taken over by a race of alien parasites known as souls, whose very existence is a plot hole. I say somehow because they apparently took over peacefully.
Please, come with us.
We only want to help you. Please be careful.
Please don't hurt yourself.
We don't want to hurt you.
Like hell! No!
And somehow Texas didn't wipe the floor with every single one of them. Look, you can make Texas jokes all you want, but they've got a lot of guns, so I don't understand how that could have been accomplished. But anyway, moving on. The story follows a girl named Melanie who is captured and has a soul named Wanderer, or Wanda for short, put inside of her. To Wanda's surprise, when she gains control of the body, Melanie is still there in her own head. She has no control over the body, except for when the plot demands it, but she is still very much alive and very much present.
I didn't die. That's right. I'm still here. Don't think this is yours. This body is mine. No. Mine.
Because this is a crappy YA story, we get not one, but 2 love stories, both involving the people sharing Melanie's body. One involving Melanie and generic Hawkeye number 1, and the other involving Wanda and generic Hawkeye number 2. Problem is, like I said, Melanie and Wanda are sharing a body. As bad as Twilight's romance is, the host takes it a step further by romanticizing sexual assault. We see Melanie's first encounter with Hawkeye number 1, and as soon as he realizes she's human, he forces a kiss onto her, then tackles her to the ground when she tries to run away. Gross, I know, but it gets worse. Remember how I said that Melanie is still around in her own head while Wanda is in control? Well, at one point, Wanda and generic Hawkeye number 2 are having a romantic moment together, and they start making out. And then Melanie starts objecting, and Wanda ignores her.
I like you, Wanda.
I like you too, Ian. You did not say that.
No. Not like that.
Get his hands off me. Wanda, no. Stop! You are not going there. What about Jared? This is very complicated.
Is there any way Melanie can give us some privacy? Look the other way a moment. Step into the other room.
You wish. I don't think that's possible right now. Wanda, no! This is so wrong! You're not even from the same planet!
Like I said, Melanie has no control over her body, except for when the plot demands it. And because this is a quote-unquote romantic scene, the plot does not demand it. So here we have 2 people engaging in sexual activity, using the body of a third person, without that third person's consent.
You 2 are now accomplices in sexual assault.
And this is portrayed as romantic. You said it, buddy. Now yes, in Twilight Eclipse, there is that scene of Jacob's character assassination in which he forces a kiss onto Bella. However, that was one scene out of the entire series, and her reaction was correct. And hilarious. The host, on the other hand, romanticizes that sort of thing. What the fuck, Stephanie Meyer?
You're into some really weird shit.
50 Shades started out as some Twilight fanfiction that replaced the vampires and werewolves with a very bad representation of BDSM and Dom sub relationships. As problematic as Edward and Bella's relationship is, Christian and Anna's is even worse.
Look at me.
I am.
Christian isn't a dominant, he's a sadist. He even admits as much, which doesn't make it any better.
I'm not a dominant. I'm not. The right term is a sadist. I get off on punishing women who look like you.
Like your mother.
Yes.
He doesn't just want to control Anna in the bedroom, he wants to control her entire life. And she is so much of a pushover that she's willing to let it happen. Well, mostly. She is such a pushover that over the course of 3 movies, she stands up to him exactly twice. The first is over what to order for dinner at a restaurant. He tries to order steak for them both. She insists that she wants a salad.
2 steaks, medium fries, green vegetables.
Actually, I'm gonna have the quinoa salad.
The second is in the 3rd movie when she finds out she's pregnant and he wants her to get rid of it.
And you said that I would choose this baby over you. And you know what? If I have to, I will.
So the 2 things she will stand up to him over are a salad and their unborn child. What the fuck? In every other situation, she eventually relents and lets him have his way. For example, at one point, Christian buys Anna a new car. Romantic, right? Well, here's the problem. While doing so, he also sold her old car out from under her. That's not just a red flag, that is a crime. It doesn't matter how rich he is, he does not have the legal right to do that. She is understandably upset about this, but nothing ever comes of it. It's just dropped. Bitch, call a fucking lawyer. For all of Twilight's myriad problems, at least the whole werewolf-vampire thing gave it some flavor. Not necessarily a good flavor, mind you, but flavor nonetheless. The kissing booth really doesn't. Oh, sure it tries to, but the kissing booth aspect of it, it's not enough. It doesn't qualify. It is the most basic idea of flavor, but it doesn't count. It needed something more, and I don't just mean better writing. Here's the kissing booth in a nutshell. Bad boy and good girl fall for each other. Their relationship upsets some people. It's clear to anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together that they're not a good couple, but the universe, aka the author, keeps forcing them back together in various contrived ways. The sequel introduces a second love interest for good girl, decent guy. Decent guy is someone that good girl could actually have a healthy relationship, but we can't have that because the author says so. Bad boy and good girl live crappily ever after. Now, how many YA stories can you think of that follow that exact formula? If your answer is less than 5, you're probably better off than me because it means you watch less crappy YA stuff than I do. That whole rant I just went on about with that formula also applies to the after movies. except minus the whole kissing booth thing. So not only do they not have any flavor, they don't even have an attempt at flavor. Bad boy and good girl fall for each other. Their relationship upsets some people. It's clear to anyone with two brain cells to rub together that they're not a good couple, but the universe, aka the author, keeps forcing them back together in various contrived ways. The sequel introduces a second love interest for good girl, decent guy. Decent guy is someone that good girl could actually have a healthy relationship, but we can't have that because the author says so. Bad boy and good girl live crappily ever after. At least the Kissing Booth movies had the attempt. They made the effort. That effort was ultimately a failure, but at least they tried. The After movies didn't even try. And yes, I'm aware that these are based on books, short stories, I don't even know. Something from Wattpad, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, when the first After movie came out, one critics' review said, and I quote, "Come back, Twilight. All is forgiven. You can't make this shit up." But you know what? At least the After's version of Decent Guy is played by Dylan Sprouse. I'm always down to watch him. He's also the only reasonable and intelligent character in any of these movies. So, you know, there's that. However, the romance between... hang on. Tessa and Hardin... Oh my god, I'd forgotten that. I forgot that that's his name. Oh yes, our British bad boy is named Hardin. Jesus fucking Christ. Could you get any less subtle? It's like naming him Auric Goldfinger. Oh, wait. Anyway, the relationship between Tessa and Hardin is even worse than the one between Elle and, Noah. Sorry. It's even worse. Their relationship is even more toxic by comparison.
We're like an addiction to each other with equal parts pleasure and pain.
Pain. Lately, I've become very well acquainted with it. The type that comes when you've been hurt repeatedly by the same person.
Thankfully, I don't remember a decent amount of these movies, because they are somehow even more forgettable than the Kissing Booth movies. I say somehow, but I think I've already given some decent reasons as to why. You know the worst part? They've made 5 of these movies. Who keeps asking for this? Because you need to stop, please. It's getting annoying. Out of all of these movies, 365 Days is the most unforgivable. Even if you ignore the fact that the summary I gave for the Kissing Booth fits 365 Days to a T, bad boy and good girl fall for each other. Their relationship upsets some people. It's clear to anyone with two brain cells thrown together that they're not a good couple, but the universe, aka the author, keeps forcing them back together in various contrived ways. The sequel uses a second for good girl, decent guy. Decent guy is someone that good girl actually have a healthy relationship, but we can't have that because the author says so. Bad boy and good girl live happily ever after. The romance here is downright insulting to anyone smart enough to understand the concept of cause and effect. In Twilight, Bella is 17, so it's not completely unbelievable that she would fall for Edward that quickly. The journey that leads her to falling for Edward is not very believable. However, if you just look at point A and point B and cut out everything in the middle, it's plausible. The same applies to 50 Shades. Anna, oh my god, I keep saying Anna. Anastasia, is 22, but she's fairly naive. So, same boat as Bella. It is at least somewhat believable that she could fall for Christian. Not in the manner portrayed, mind you, just hypothetically. In 365 Days, Lara is a fast-talking 29-year-old executive who has already had a decent amount of world experience. She is not naive. She is not ignorant. Massimo is a goddamn cartel boss who kidnaps Lara and tells her, "I'm going to hold you captive for a year. If by the end of that year you have not fallen in love with me, I will let you go."
Why am I here? Who the fuck you are? Why are you keeping me here? Answer me.
Sit down, I don't want you to faint again.
Answer me.
Sit down.
I'm not your property.
Sit the fuck down.
This should have been the easiest thing in the history of anything ever. Not falling in love with your kidnapper? It's a breeze. Plus, you get to live on the dime of a cartel boss, and therefore all of your needs are taking away a bit of his profits. So, your very being there is already hurting him just a little bit. You get to live there for free. You're not being forced into any awkward... Well, okay, that's not true. He's not forcing you to fall in love with him. So, for the established character of Lara, this should have been a breeze. But, because this is a shitty romance story, Massimo's plan works, and she ends up falling for him. You heard that right. This movie romanticizes Stockholm Syndrome. Even the host didn't sink that low. If the author had any respect for common sense whatsoever, the story would end with Lara telling Massimo to go fuck himself as she leaves forever. Hell, if you want to make us love her character even more, maybe she starts pretending that she's fallen for him just to screw with him, so that when she eventually leaves, it hits him that much harder, because let's face it, this asshole deserves to have his heart broken. Instead, Lara gets reduced from an emotionally mature adult to falling in love like a teenager. And they made 2 sequels. Look, entertainment is subjective. So, you're not wrong if you like these movies. You're not right, but you're not wrong either, because that's how opinions work. However, if you think that anything I just talked about is even remotely romantic, you are hereby banned from ever interacting with any hypothetical kids I might have in the future, because I do not need that kind of bullshit in their lives while I have any say about it. Once they turn 18, whatever. They can interact with you if they want to. But hopefully by then they will know better. Or rather, hopefully by then they will know to only do so if they wish to have a laugh at your expense. I would say no offense, but that's their choice, not mine. What do you think, Leatherface? Me too, buddy. Me too. That's all for now. Stay safe in these crazy times.